Bonjour everyone, welcome to another video. Today I thought I'd do a little brand showcase for you, and I would like to feature one of my favorite premium brands. We'd be talking about Greenlight. So I've been collecting Greenlight for I'd say over a decade now. More or less sporadically at the beginning when I started getting really serious about collecting. But more so in the last few years, in views of the variety that Greenlight has on offer, and their new series they've released over the years that are definitely congruent with my interests. So just going to show you a few different cars from a few different series that I enjoy, and a little bit more information on each as per usual. So feel free to follow along and comment, like, and subscribe. So we're gonna start off today with a vehicle from the Blue Collar series. So Blue Collar series is basically it's going to be utilitarian vehicles that are a little bit more destined for the everyday man. So we've got here a 1976 Dodge B100 in the Mopar livery. What I love about Greenlight is the fact that for the most part, wheels are definitely going to be accurate to what they actually would be on the real life counterpart of these vehicles. Now in this case here, you can see we've got some tiny little wheels, look like Dymags or something of the sort. Really like this. Livery's great, period correct, but still close to what you would expect even on a modern vehicle today. So basically we've got obviously full detailing, painted rear details, painted front details. Got a lot of nice details on this van. I love vans personally, so I love the fact you got a little windows in the back, conversion van look. So yeah, Blue Collar series, mostly pickups, Jeeps, things like that. Basically, you won't find sports cars or anything like that, but very prolific series. This is actually part of Series 9. They normally would release one or two Blue Collar series per year, so it has been going on for a little bit. Second series that I'd like to showcase for you today is the All-Terrain series. So All-Terrain series basically, well, I think it's best described just by the title of the series itself. It's really going to be off-roady vehicles such as this Chevy S10 Baja Edition. This is a recent find, recent peg find. The S10 is casting that started to make its appearance, namely in the Blue Collar series with a very base model S10 in two-tone gold and black. You've got also the Hollywood series that I'll talk to you a little bit more about later in this video. That had an Ace Ventura lifted S10 with like a zebra type print on it. And you had also, I believe, a GMC version that came out in one of the vintage ad car series that I'll probably leave a whole episode to eventually, because it's really there's a lot of interesting castings with a lot of history behind it. So in regards to this specific one, the Baja Edition, basically what differentiates it is the aluminum wheels. A few off-roading accessories like a hitch in front, as you can see there, a little push bar, roll bar on top with the 2 fog lights, the spare wheel that's posed just like a Baja truck on the back, little push bar on the back itself as well, which we'll try and get a glimpse of. There we go. And yeah, so Greenlight obviously is a premium brand, so a lot of these do have opening features. Normally opening hood on certain castings are going to be present. I don't think this one actually does have an opening hood, despite the fact that the outline for the hood is very, very net and clear. Yeah, so all-terrain series. It's definitely a series I enjoy, but you know, it's not the type of vehicle that I'll lust over necessarily. Another very long running series from Greenlight would be the Black Bandit series. Now, what is Black Bandit series or Black Bandit collection? Honestly, it's a blacked out version of cars that have been, you know, put out by Greenlight. So basically, we've got here Plymouth Satellite Station Wagon, 70 Plymouth, 70 Dodge, and whatnot. Probably some of my favorite body style. 1970 was an extremely good year for Chrysler Corp. Yeah, so this one is, you know, we've got blacked out rims, blacked out windows. Still got the, you know, the details that you would expect. And I mean, there's all kinds of vehicles that you're going to see in this series. This is series 24. So it's long running. I mean, it's been going on for years and years and years and years. I mean, this is, you know, you're going to find in the same series, I believe they had the Ford Escort Cosworth. They had 2 Jeeps, Nissan Patrol, like an old Nissan Patrol. You know, you've really got like a variety of vehicles. The theme is really going to be based on the blacked out, the murdered out look of the vehicles themselves. You can see also in the back here that we got some checker plate. It's black and chrome basically. So I really like this series, but I mean, at the end of the day, it's not going to be a series that's going to comprise new castings being put out or things like that. It's really going to be more something that's going to be basically, you know, just recolors, but you know, really blacked out of existing castings. But it's enjoyable. It's an enjoyable series. They once in a while you get that vehicle that looks so good in all black, and yeah, I have a couple of those, but not a whole lot. It's not a series I actively complete or collect. So here we've got a series that came out actually, I believe last year or the year before, maybe 2020. So it's Carrera Panamericana. So these are all vehicles that actually are part of this endurance race in Mexico. There's a lot of variations of the Studebaker Champion, Studebaker Hawk, and so on. Basically, we're talking about a series of vehicles that are going to be race liveried, just like this one. A lot of 240Zs, some Beetles. You're gonna find some Mustangs, like the original generation Mustangs, and so on and so forth. So cool series. Vehicles are obviously well detailed. Slight gripe though I have about this series. This, by the way, is series 2. So second wave. A little bit of a gripe I have is the lack of race interior that we're gonna find in most of these vehicles. But I mean, it's an interesting series in the sense that it's got some motorsport It's got like motorsport, but like with an international type of flair to it. Basically, things we're not necessarily used to seeing on the daily. So yeah, I really like this one. It's cool. It's a cool car first and foremost. Uh, and I'm kind of a sucker for Golf livery. So yeah. Speaking of Golf livery, another series I wanted to show you. And this is another recent peg find. Is the Running on Empty series. Now, what is Running on Empty? Running on Empty is basically going to be based on a specific gas station slash provider or whatever, gasoline provider. In this case is Golf, obviously, with this 67 Mercury Cougar Trans Am Racer. Really digging the wheels. Body looks good. Colors are great. You know, I actually prefer the Cougar to the first generation Mustang, in all honesty. At least until the more sporty versions of the Mustang came out. So, but that's just me. I mean, a lot of people find it weird that I like the Firebird more than the Camaro. Same thing for the Cougar versus the Mustang. For these first iterations, at least. Yeah. So this is a long running series as well, running on MTC. This is series 13. And I mean, we're talking about like a lot of different cars. I mean, if I just look on the back of this card here, I mean, you've got Standard Oil, Golf, STP, Texaco, Shell. So I mean, you're always gonna get like these all these different gas stations. Basically, normally the card art is very retro and pretty cool. Another very long running series, and this is a much older pickup. Basically, probably picked this up a year ago. Be the Club VDub. So no explanation needed, right? Club VDub is going to be Volkswagen vehicles we're going to be concentrating on, other than this little 74 Golf. Kind of looks like a Berg Cup car. Again in Golf livery. We're going to be talking about Volkswagen T1s, Beetles. You're gonna find your square backs. Like classic Volkswagens. Mostly air cooled, but like in this case, sometimes you're gonna get. I mean, you've got several versions of this. You got a police version. You've got a couple civilian versions as well. Great casting, by the way. I mean, detail on this thing is really good. Now here you got the more European spec car, but they do actually do the Rabbit with the square lights in front and everything like that. But this thing is like really cool. I love the wider arches, those small Panasport looking wheels. Really cool car. I really like this one. I have a couple of versions of it. Like I have one civilian version, one police version as well. And next one I'm going to show you is a trio of cars that are some of my absolute favorites in my collection, and something I like to collect to a certain extent if I like the vehicle in question. And these would be movie cars. Now, Greenlight has an extensive Greenlight Hollywood line that's been going on for literally over a decade. I mean, we're really talking about something that's extremely huge as a range. Just to give you an idea, I'll start off with this Beverly Hills Cop 1970 Chevy Nova, which is one of my favorite muscle cars. And this is as portrayed to be driven by Eddie Murphy in the movie, the first Beverly Hills Cop movie. Weathered out, dirty. Something I actually really like as well. I really like weathered out vehicles. Weathered vehicles, should I say. So, I mean, I've got a fairly extensive. There's a few that I'm missing in the collection that I'm still after. Namely, in the most recent release, there was actually 74 Malibu from the movie Drive, and I do not have the GT500 Eleanor from Gone in 60 Seconds either, the Nicolas Cage version. So I am on the lookout for those eventually. I will find them, I'm pretty sure. Stumble upon them. But yeah, this Nova is really cool. This is release 27, so that gives you an idea at maybe 2 releases per year, how long this has been running. Maybe 2, maybe 3 series a year. Maybe 3 series. I'm not exactly sure. I'd have to document myself a little bit better on this. Then we found to Ace Ventura with the infamous Monte Carlo. Jim Carrey drives with his head out the window because of the busted windshield, which is actually very well depicted on this car. So again, fully detailed opening hood. Got a little crass looking finish on there with all kinds of dents and dings and old dirty steelies, and mind you, the license plates are also accurately reproduced on these cars. So, and Chevy Monte Carlo from 70 to, well, pretty much 72. Definitely some car that I really like if we're talking about muscle cars. So, and yeah, even the back windows busted out just like it ended up being in the movie. Great car, you know, great detail and everything like that. Last Hollywood ride I'm going to show you is, well, I don't think it really needs an explanation, but yeah. Bullet Mustang. Probably one of the best car chases, if not the best car chase in cinema since its advent. Steve McQueen did his own driving, which the original Bullet Mustang was actually found and sold, I believe, last year in an unrestored barn find condition. And that was actually also made by Greenlight, that version, the unearthed version per se. Do not have that one, but it is available in 1/64 scale and 1/24 scale. This one is the 1/64 scale, and it's the movie version, so nice and clean with the torque thrust wheels, American racing style wheels. Highland green paint. You know, great looking car. And this is when, for me, Cougar and the Mustang were starting to be ex aequo. Before they really split in directions and just ended up not really being the same type of vehicle. 68 Mustang GT was a 390 in the movie. Is it a 390 here? 394 speed? Good question. I don't know. And yeah, speaking of Hollywood, Greenlight also has a great selection of TV and movie inspired team transport type hauler kind of thing that they do. I do pick up some of these when either the movie pertains to my interest or the cars inside pertain to my interest. So basically, I'll give you an example. This is a Starsky and Hutch kit. So Ford Ranchero, Ford Gran Torino, both 76 models. So matching pretty much from the A-pillar forward, fully matching. And yeah, comes with a flatbed trailer. You can see here this little apparatus is to actually install on your trailer, so you can You can leave it. You can actually like have it level on the ground without being attached to a car. Um, and yeah, you do have the ramps as well that you can install in the back of the trailer that go up and down. There you go. So you know, really cool series. It's part of the Hollywood Hitch and Tow series. And Hitch and Tow is another one. There's another one I really like that I'll get to at a later time because obviously, let's just say that Greenlight has an extensive catalog. So you'll notice here for the movie car, little on the roof, little sign of the police light. Yeah, these are really cool. And I mean, from the front, you know, they have the exact same front end, almost. Pretty much, yeah, they have pretty much the same front end. Great wheel setup too. Again, Greenlight does wheels really well. Different wheels on the trailer, which is cool. Something that, example, Hot Wheels and Team Transport just tends to put the same wheels all around. Not something we have here. And if we focus on the cars, not the trailer, I mean, obviously, looking at two very cool vehicles. Very, very cool vehicles. Very well rendered in their proportions. Their ride height, good depiction of the paint scheme in the movie in the case of Gran Torino, or you know, in the case of the Gran Torino movie and TV series actually. Yeah, so I love these sets, and you know, I'm a movie buff, so this kind of stuff speaks to me. A newer series that I believe there's two series now, but that started off last year and I was really excited about, especially for this casting specifically. Greenlight Hot Hatches and the 94 Ford Escort RS Cosworth. The reason I was excited about this, well, first and foremost, Escort Cosworths we never got in North America. It is a car that I love. Group A Rally champion in the World Rally Championship. And this specific version is my favorite version of the RS Cosworth. This is the a limited edition. It's the Monte Carlo edition, actually, of the Ford Escort. It's not listed anywhere, but I'll tell you why I'm saying it's the Monte Carlo edition. Simply because it's the only model that was offered in a shade of purple, very similar to this, but maybe slightly more metallic in the case of the real car. And the wheels also. So you had the Oze Racing wheels that came with it that are really specific to that limited edition. So, I mean, really good casting. And I have a black Bandit version of this as well as a running on empty version of this in a Texaco livery. It's kind of reminiscent of the BTCC Sierra Cosworths that raced in the 80s. Yeah, basically, this is, you know, well detailed front and back. I would just be missing the you know, the more at front the twin projector headlight conversion, and it pretty much be like my ideal spec for an Escort Cosworth. Yeah, basically the whale tail on there. It's perfect. I mean, I love it. I love the card art as well. It has a Delta Integrale, which I don't know if they're working on getting this casting or not, but they have yet to release a Delta Integrale, so we'll see what happens there. One that I would like to show is a hobby exclusive also, which Greenlight does foray into. And I love, as mentioned before, the vintage ad series. I love the old car ads. And this one kind of spoke to me. So Nissan Skyline GTR, and it's BF Goodrich. It's based on the BF Goodrich ad car that I probably have 10 or 12 times in different old tuner magazines that I've accumulated over the year. Especially in Super Street magazine, Sport Compact Car, Performance Audio and Sound. I don't. There's so many of them that have disappeared now. I'm just talking about the American ones. That's before getting into the European magazines. Yeah, so basically Skyline GTR, BNR 34, can't go wrong. I mean, I love Skylines. I'm a Nissan nut. Um, I'm pretty much a fanboy of Nissan vehicles, so especially of this vintage, 80s, 90s. Got the Nismo style stripes, all the sponsors on the side. Obviously, the wheels are not T37s as depicted in the original ad that you can see just above. Classic 6 spokes. They're 5 spokes, but hey, this casting I have a plethora of, and I've shown at least one before in a previous video. But yeah, this one just spoke to me. It's not something that you'll find in store necessarily, at least up here in Canada. This is something I had to pick up from a diecast store, from a hobby shop directly, because otherwise I wouldn't have been able to get my hand on it. And last thing I'm going to show you, so we just checked out a hobby exclusive. Here's a Miho exclusive, and this is actually a twin pack. So pretty reminiscent of the Hot Wheels twin pack of previous wave that came out there with the two BRE Datsuns. Well, these are pretty much the same Datsuns, but they're going to be scale accurate at 1/64. They're definitely not going to be hugely wide bodied and everything like that, like the Hot Wheels versions. And in addition to that, this is a chrome edition. So it actually has very, very shiny paint. Red, and yeah, the blue on the bottom. So like Spectra Flame type paint for the top part of the cars. And yeah, this is a Miho exclusive actually, which we don't get in Canada except through diecast stores like Diecast Specialists. I tend to go to Passion Diecast, which is about a 45-minute drive, maybe an hour drive from where I live. If we're talking about picking up these, or a little bit further in distance, but almost the same in time, there's also a place called Nice Car Collection that has a really nice setup, basically, if we're talking about picking up these. And this is actually where I picked up this one. The Skyline shown previously is actually from Passion Diecast. So, you know, you can get these hobby exclusives. I mean, normally the diecast stores up here, they don't necessarily, you know, they're going to charge you more, but they're not going to be unfair about it and charge you a ludicrous price. So there you go. Just thought I'd show off a few little green lights. I'll probably do another episode for Greenlight. Let me know if you'd like to see another episode with Greenlights, because there's a bunch more that I haven't shown if we're talking about different exclusives and collections that are available via the manufacturer. So hopefully you enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you for tuning in again. Again, don't forget to like a video if you enjoyed the content. Subscribe for more these videos, and obviously feel free to comment with any type of suggestions, requests, feedback, anything of the sort, basically. And until the next one, I wish you a great day. Bye bye.